think putting up a tree and waiting for Santa is what Christmas is all about? For centuries, it was also about inviting spiders into your home for good luck, burning a giant log all night to fight off evil spirits, and even beating a piece of wood until it, well, pooped out presents. Today, we're uncovering 5 fascinating Christmas traditions that, in some strange and wonderful ways, are still kicking. These aren't just dusty old footnotes from a history book. They're living, breathing customs that connect us to a wilder, and maybe even more meaningful, past. They challenge our modern, commercialized idea of the holidays and pull back the curtain on a world where Christmas was a time of magic, mischief, and deep-rooted folk beliefs. From the mountains of Catalonia to the streets of Caracas, people are keeping these ancient rites alive. So, get ready to question what you thought you knew about December 25th, because we're about to explore the forgotten heart of Christmas. 1. Burning the Yule log, Europe. Let's start with a tradition that probably sounds familiar, but whose origins are way grander and more mystical than you'd guess: the burning of the Yule log. Today you might see a chocolate cake shaped like a log, or a looping video of a crackling fire on TV. But the original Yule log wasn't a dessert, and it definitely wasn't digital. It was, in some cases, practically a whole tree. This practice goes way back to pre-Christian Europe, especially among Germanic, Celtic, and Norse peoples. The word Yule itself comes from the Old Norse Yule, a pagan festival celebrating the winter solstice. For ancient people, this was a huge deal. The solstice marked the shortest day of the year, when the world was at its darkest. Burning the Yule log was a powerful act of sympathetic magic. By feeding a massive fire, they believed they were encouraging the sun to come back and regain its strength. And the ritual was serious business, though practices varied by region. A huge log, sometimes from a sacred oak or an evergreen pine, would be ceremoniously brought into the home. We're not talking about something you can just carry. Some accounts describe logs so big they had to be dragged by a team of people, with one end fed into the hearth while the rest stretched out into the room. Before it was lit, the log was often decorated or blessed, sometimes sprinkled with wine or anointed with salt. In many traditions, the goal was to keep the fire burning for the 12 days of Christmas, from Christmas Eve until the Epiphany on January 6th. Letting the fire go out was often considered a terrible omen that could bring bad luck. This wasn't just about staying warm, it was about spiritual protection. The fire was believed to ward off evil spirits who were thought to be especially active on those long winter nights. When the 12 days were over, a piece of the charred log was often saved. It was seen as a protective charm against lightning and fire, and most importantly, it was used to light the next year's log, creating an unbroken chain of good fortune. So where did this massive 12-day bonfire go? The most obvious evolution is the bûche de Noël, the edible Yule log cake. This tradition is thought to have started in the 19th century France when giant, open hearths became less common, making it pretty impractical to burn a tree trunk indoors. Parisian pastry chefs got clever and swapped the wood for a rolled sponge cake, and a new delicious symbolic tradition was born. But the actual burning log hasn't totally vanished. In parts of Britain and France, smaller logs are still burned on Christmas Eve. And in a perfectly modern twist, the tradition got a second life on TV. In 1966, a New York City station, WPIX, aired hours of a log burning in a fireplace with Christmas music. This Yule log broadcast was a huge hit, giving a sense of warmth to people in apartments without fireplaces. Today you can stream endless HD Yule log videos, a digital hearth that connects millions back to that ancient human urge to find light in the darkness. 2. Decorating with spider webs, Ukraine. Next we head to Ukraine, where Christmas trees don't just sparkle with lights, they shimmer with spider webs. Now, for a lot of us, finding a spider on the Christmas tree would be cause for alarm, not celebration. But in Ukrainian folklore, spiders are a sign of good luck. And it's all thanks to a beautiful old story. The legend of the Christmas spider tells of a poor widow who lived in a tiny hut with her children. A pine cone took root inside their home, and the children were thrilled to have a real Christmas tree. They tended to it carefully, but when Christmas Eve arrived, they had no money to buy decorations. The children went to bed heartbroken, their tree completely bare. Taking pity on the family, the spiders who lived in the corners of the hut got to work. They spent all night crawling over the tree, weaving gorgeous, intricate webs from branch to branch. When the family woke up on Christmas morning, they were stunned to find the tree covered in the spiders' delicate handiwork. As the first rays of sunlight hit the webs, they magically turned into shimmering threads of gold and silver. The family never knew poverty again. This story is a wonderful folk explanation for the origin of tinsel, even though the sparkly stuff was actually invented in Germany back in the 1600s. Yet to honour this miracle, Ukrainians to this day decorate their trees with artificial spider webs and spider-shaped ornaments. These ornaments are meant to bring good luck and fortune for the new year, and finding a real spider web on the tree is seen as an especially lucky sign. While the legend is considered an old oral tradition, popularised around the 19th century, it's connected to an even older custom: the pavok. A pavok, which also means spider, is a large geometric mobile made of straw that's hung from the ceiling in the winter. This intricate chandelier-like creation was seen as a household talisman, meant to protect the home. It beautifully links the spider symbol to Ukraine's deep agricultural roots. The smaller ornaments for the tree are sometimes called pavuchki, little spiders, carrying on the theme. This tradition is a great reminder that miracles can come from the most unexpected places, turning a creature we often fear into a symbol of generosity and hope. So next time you're draping tinsel on your tree, you can think of the kind little spiders who supposedly spun the very first strands. 3. La Befana, the Christmas witch, Italy. In Italy, forget Santa and his reindeer. One of the stars of the holiday gift-giving season is a kind-hearted witch on a broomstick. Her name is La Befana, and she's one of the most beloved figures in Italian folklore. While a Christmas witch might sound a little spooky, she's really a sweet grandmotherly figure who delivers gifts to kids on the night of January 5th, the eve of the Epiphany. Her story is tied directly to the 3 wise men. The legend goes that the Magi were on their way to Bethlehem when they stopped at an old woman's house to ask for directions. This woman, La Befana, was known as the best housekeeper in the village and was naturally busy sweeping. The wise men were so impressed by her that they invited her to come with them to find the baby Jesus. But La Befana said no. She had too many chores. After they left, she was hit with a wave of regret. She quickly gathered some gifts for the baby, grabbed her broom and ran outside to catch up, but they were long gone. And so, to this day, she flies on her broom every year on the eve of the Epiphany, searching every house for the Christ child. Since she never knows which child is the right one, she just leaves a gift for every good boy and girl she finds. Like Santa, she knows if you've been bad or good. Good children find their stockings filled with candy and toys. Naughty children get a lump of coal, though today it's usually a black rock-shaped candy, so even being naughty has a sweet ending. Before bed, kids will often leave out a glass of wine and some food for the weary traveller. Her name, Befana, is probably a twist on the Italian word Epifania, or Epiphany. Her origins, however, are thought to be much older, likely blending pre-Christian pagan traditions with the Christian story. Some scholars believe she's connected to ancient Roman festivals, a figure symbolising the old year being swept away to make a fresh start for the new one. Today, La Befana is a huge deal in Italy, where she shares the holiday spotlight with the more modern Babbo Natale, or Santa Claus. But the Epiphany on January 6th is her day. In Rome's Piazza Navona, a massive market is held in her honour, and in the town of Urbania there's even a national Befana festival. She's a symbol of regret and eternal hope, a reminder that kindness can be found in the humblest of appearances. 4. Tio de Nadal, the pooping log, Catalonia, Spain. Alright, prepare yourself, because this is easily one of the most wonderfully bizarre Christmas traditions out there. In Spain's Catalonia region, families don't just have a Yule log. They bring it to life, feed it for weeks, and then, on Christmas Eve, beat it with sticks until it poops presents. Meet Tio de Nadal, also known as cagatio, or the pooping log. Scholars believe this tradition has roots in ancient winter solstice rituals, celebrating nature's abundance and the warmth of the family hearth. Over time, that pagan idea evolved into the quirky, hilarious children's celebration they have today. It all starts on December 8th. A log, usually with a happy face painted on it and little wooden legs, is brought into the house. It gets a cosy blanket and a traditional Catalan red hat. For the next few weeks, the kids are in charge of feeding the Tio every night, leaving out fruit, nuts and cookies. Of course, the parents sneak away the food so the children believe their log is growing nice and fat. The main event happens on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. The family gathers around the Tio and the kids are given sticks. They start hitting the log while singing a traditional song which basically translates to "Poop, log, poop, nougat. If you don't poop well, I'll hit you with a stick. Poop, log." While the kids are singing, parents quickly slip presents under the log's blanket. When the song is over, the kids lift the blanket to find all the goodies the Tio has pooped out. These are usually small gifts like candy, toys, and especially Toro, a Christmas nougat. This goes on for a few rounds until the log poops out something salty like an onion, signaling that it's all out of gifts for the year. What makes this tradition so great is how interactive and fun it is. It fills the house with laughter and song. And for Catalans, the Tio de Nadal is a cherished part of Christmas magic. It's a hilarious and heartwarming ritual that perfectly captures a festive spirit that is anything but ordinary. 5. Roller skating to Christmas Mass, Caracas, Venezuela. Our final stop is in Caracas, the capital of Venezuela, for a tradition that's surprisingly modern. Imagine waking up before dawn, not to sleigh bells, but to the whirring of wheels on pavement. For decades, it's been a tradition in some parts of the city for people to roller skate to early morning Christmas Mass. This vibrant practice, known as Las Patinatas, seems to have started around the 1950s. The early morning Christmas Masses, called Misas de Aguinaldo, begin on December 16th. With less public transport in the pre-dawn hours, roller skating might have just been a fun, practical way for people in certain neighborhoods to get to church. Whatever its exact origin, it blossomed into a beloved community celebration. In its heyday, some streets in participating neighborhoods would be closed to traffic in the early morning hours to keep the skaters safe. This wasn't just a few kids, it was a phenomenon. Whole families would lace up their skates and join festive processions, rolling through the dark streets. The atmosphere is pure joy. It's a rolling party with people singing Christmas songs and street vendors selling hot chocolate and other treats. There's even a charming piece of folklore that says kids would tie a string to their big toe and dangle the other end out the window. The first skaters to pass by would give the string a little tug to wake the kids up so they wouldn't miss out. After Mass, the celebration continues with coffee and traditional Venezuelan Christmas music. The whole event turns the simple act of going to church into an unforgettable holiday parade. In recent years, due to social and economic challenges in Venezuela, the tradition isn't as widespread as it once was, but it absolutely survives. In many neighborhoods, the spirit of the patinatas is still rolling, with families heading to local parks or streets to skate and celebrate together. It's a beautiful testament to the Venezuelan spirit of finding joy and community, and even in tough times. So from fire rituals and lucky spiders to gift-giving witches and pooping logs, it's clear there are countless ways to celebrate this time of year. Each custom, no matter how strange it might seem to us, is a thread in the rich tapestry of human culture, connecting us to our ancestors and to each other. We'd love to hear from you. What's the weirdest or most wonderful holiday tradition in your family or culture? Let us know in the comments below. These traditions remind us that Christmas has always been an incredible mix of ancient pagan rituals, Christian stories, local folklore, and global customs. They all touch on universal themes: the search for light in the darkness, the hope for good fortune, and the pure joy of being together. So as you get ready for your own holiday celebrations, maybe you'll see your traditions in a new light. Or maybe you'll realize that a little bit of weird is exactly what makes the holidays so magical. Thanks for watching.